Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cruising. Cruising, I can't even.
No, it's not. It used to be this. It used to be cruising with the K Center. Now it's cruising with the K
Cruising with a
Center.
case
There
that
you go.
you and Chris Rock, man, is cruising, you know?
Well, I told you,
Anyway,
there's that famous story. My kids are looking at my Facebook and they're like, why are you on a show with Chris Rock? I go, that's not Chris Rock. That's Squeeze.
better person than Chris Rock.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is David Squeezaniki. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a businessman here in the tri-state area and beyond. And we have put the show together called Cruising with a Case Handler. The case handler happens to be an attorney and a partner at the firm Pollack, Isaac, and Nasico, located in New York City. And we do a show on personal injury and immigration 7 days a week. And also, of course, we do it 5 days a week live. So we want to welcome the attorneys on board. Let me welcome my co-host. His name is Adam Handler. Let him tell you a little bit about what it is that he is, what he does, and how he does it. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Handler, the case handler. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Handler, the beast. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Handler, the shark. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, Adam Handler.
You forgot the hot stepper.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Handler, the hot stepper.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. 93.5 FM listeners, Facebook viewers, Instagram followers. How are you? My name is Adam Handler. I'm a partner of Pollack, Isaac, and Nasico. We are attorneys. Yes, we do a show every morning consistently at 9:30, but don't be fooled. We are practicing attorneys. We are the attorneys that will be handling your case should you ever have that legal need. We are a full-service law firm here in downtown Manhattan. And our phone number, let's give it out a few times before we get started, is 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844 PPID law, 844 PPID law. PPID is the initials of our firm, Pollack, Isaac, and Nasico. Easy way for me to say and introduce this, we can go around the horn here. I'm down with PPID. The maestro Conrad Pollack is certainly down with PPID. Nelson, the Maverick Madrid, also a partner of this firm in the immigration department, nonetheless, is down with PPID. Andrea Shira is down with PPID. Squeeze, I guess, the only person left to ask, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I always like to check in every single day. Are you down with PPID?
I don't even know how to answer you these days, man. Come on, Adam. You know me. I'm down with PPID.
Excellent response. This show is called Cruising with the Case Handler. We're here to give you information about personal injury. We're here to give you information about immigration. And especially if you call that phone number, you are guaranteed, at least until the end of this year, a 100% free phone consultation. We'll talk more about why the end of this year, but ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress enough, if you want to get your questions answered for free over the phone, if you've got an immigration question, you must call us. If you have a personal injury question, you must call us. If you have a matrimonial, criminal defense, real estate question, you must call us. 844-774-3529, 844 PPID law. You got a legal question, we got a legal answer. You got a legal problem. Squeeze, what do we have in response?
Legal answer? Legal solution?
Legal solution. There you go. Again, the phone call is free. The information is free. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. If you don't take advantage of giving our firm a call and asking your question for free over the phone, don't come crying to us after something gets screwed up with respect to legalizing your status here in the United States, or going with another attorney that's going to sell your personal injury case out for pennies on the dollar. Again, we are Pollack, Isaac, Nasico. My name is Adam Handler, your boy, the case handler. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the managing partner of this firm. We call him the maestro. Some people call him CP. Some people call him CEP, but his name is Conrad Pollack. And Conrad, good morning to you, my friend.
AKA the voice.
The voice. That's right. The voice. Right. All right. Some people call him the maestro. Some people call him the voice. We'll call him CP. Good morning.
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 Wow, very impressive. Okay,
Yeah.
Shira, let's start with you, Andrea. Always a bright smile in the morning. What's going on? Tell us what's happening today.
Can I jump in for 30 seconds?
Okay.
I just want to jump on something which is very, very important. We're live on 93.5 FM, which is a radio station here in New York City. And I want to disclaim this and make it very clear, because some of you, when you catch me in the streets or you see me or whatever, you say, Squeeze, you didn't tell me this and you didn't do that and all that. And I get lambasted so much. Let me say this, and I'm saying this, all right? The free immigration consultation, full consultations will end the end of this year. So don't call me an ass when you call up on January 1 or 2 and say, but Squeeze, I don't want to hear it. And this has happened in the past. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Squeeze this, squeeze that. All I'm saying, if you're out there and you have an immigration question, there are many attorneys waiting to speak with you for free over the phone for a few minutes until the end of January. So make sure you make that call. The number to call is 1-844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Any immigration question you have on the US, make the call right now, right this minute, right this second. Call PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Nelson is smiling. Andrea is smiling. They're saying, yes, we have answered enough free questions. We have been inundated. It's about time, Squeeze. And I did warn everybody, nothing lasts forever. So I am making it very clear on December the 8th, 2020, as we're about to get out of it, these attorneys, come on, think about it. It's a firm. They can't work for free forever, all right? They were trying to help out everybody, or have been helping out everybody. Here's what I'm saying. Call them now, schedule a free phone consultation with one of the immigration attorneys. It will be free until December 31st. And don't wait until December 30th to do it, all right? The number to call is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. If you're on Facebook, call the number. Doesn't matter where in the world you are. Immigration is federal here in the United States, as long as it has to do with U.S. immigration. I am David Squeeze Anarchy, and I endorse this message. Andrea.
Who's beeping that? What's that stupid ring?
I don't know, man. Somebody has their phone on. Andrea, how are you? You're an attorney with the law firm PPID. It's good to have you. I got lots of questions, but my main question today is just one word or an acronym, Daca.
Oh, yes. There's so many news, I forgot. So it's official. As of yesterday, the USCIS is accepting all new Daca applications. So everybody that could potentially be a Daca recipient should call so we can ask them the specific questions and get started on applying for Daca. It's great news. Yes.
Fabulous news, I believe. And thank you so much for updating us on that. By the way, just to expound a bit, what is Daca and who qualifies for it?
So Daca is for the dreamers, for childhood arrivals. It was designed for children that came with their parents and that either entered illegally or ended up in deportation proceedings, but through no fault of their own. Basically, they were kids. Their parents brought them here. They didn't know. They had no, say on it. So you have to, there's like a few requirements. You have to have physical presence in the US from 2012. You have to show that you are enrolled in school or went to school here, have a high school degree, a high school diploma at least, or the equivalent, the GED. And you have to show also good moral character and show that you were out of status at a specific date.
There an age limit also?
Oh, and I think you're supposed to be within less than 32 at a certain date.
Well, you were supposed to apply before the age of 16 as well. Or you had to have been physically present in the United States before the age of 16.
Right.
Okay. All right. lot of information here. And by the way, folks, if you don't understand or what it is that the attorneys are saying, it doesn't hurt. Call the firm. Everybody listening to 93.5 FM knows there's only one firm you call for any legal help that you need. They'll point you in the right direction or help you. Definitely when it comes to immigration, call them now, ask questions. I think this is great news on Daca. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. My question to maybe Conrad, how come this got resolved where Daca got activated before the president-elect got in power? How come it happened on Trump's watch?
Well, first off, this has nothing to do with Biden. Biden has said that when he comes in next month, that he is going to do everything he can to make it permanent. DACA is based on an executive order that was issued by President Obama back in 2012, I think it was. It's not legislation, it's not the law. It's been litigated back and forth, went to the Supreme Court this past summer. Trump has been trying to get rid of it. Trump has used it as a bargaining chip to get money for his wall and so many other and various other things on his hardline stance on immigration. And basically said, well, going back a while, he basically said, look, I'm canceling, I'm ending DACA, which he could. It's an executive order and every president can do that, which is why it's been on such tenuous terrain all this time. But he said, I forget exactly when it was, but a couple of years back, he said, I'm ending DACA and I'm giving Congress 6 months to come up with ideas to make it permanent. And, and of course, part of that was, the deal was, what he was thinking was, I'm going to get rid of DACA, which is very popular. It's like 80% of the population is in favor of DACA. And giving these kids a break and letting them stay here. But he figured he'd use that against the Democrats to get money for his wall and other, again, as I said, other aspects of his hardline stance on immigration. And it backfired. The case was taken to court. Democrats took it to court, ended up in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court basically said, you can't just cancel it just like that. As usual, they were incompetent in the way they tried to get rid of it. They had to follow certain procedures. They didn't, which is typical. And the Supreme Court said, no good, DACA continues. So what they do, like the next week, his acting commissioner of USCIS, who was not appointed properly, again, not following usual procedures, Chad Wolf says, well, I don't care basically what the Supreme Court said. We're going to continue DACA, okay, but we're going to change the duration of DACA from 2 years to 1 year, to 1 year on extensions, and we're not going to let anyone new apply. If you haven't applied yet, we're not going to let you apply. Again, went to court recently, came down the other day, said, no, you can't do that. The Supreme Court said DACA continues in its current form, and you can't just ignore them. So, as Shira was just saying, just a couple of days ago, the court came down basically saying DACA continues. It's a 2-year extension when you reapply, and new applicants can apply, regardless of what the acting director of the USCIS says. So that's where it stands right now, and that's how it will continue when Biden comes in. Biden is going to try to make it permanent, so it's not all this back and forth, because God help us all should Trump come back in 2024. God, just a thought. But anyway, should he come back in 2024 and it's still DACA on an executive order, one of the first things he's going to do is try to get rid of it again. So it has 80% approximate approval ratings with the population in this country. So there's a good chance it'll become legislation. But as with everything in the immigration field, everything's a negotiating point. There are so many different issues going back and forth. Biden wants a comprehensive immigration reform package. The Democrats want that. Some Republicans want it too. And a lot will depend on what happens in the Georgia runoffs in a few weeks, on January 4th or January 5th. If the Democrats get the Senate, then there's a good chance that we'll see we'll see immigration reform. If they don't, less likely. I don't see it coming anytime soon. I don't see it happening certainly within. I'll be surprised if it happens in the first year. There are too many other things going on. The pandemic is really what's going to occupy all of Biden's time. I think what Biden's going to do on the immigration front, up front, and he'll do quickly, is everything he can do unilaterally. It doesn't need legislation. It doesn't need Congress to do it. For instance, he's going to get rid of that public charge rule. He's going to go after and just dismantle a lot of the idiotic policies that the Trump administration has put in place and tried to put in place. That he'll do fast. Comprehensive immigration reform, DACA becoming law, I don't see it happening. At least, it's going to take time. I don't see it happening the first year.
Absolutely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Conrad Pollack, the managing partner at the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and Destico. I'm imploring each and every one out there, if you have not called and asked your immigration question as yet, the free immigration consultations will end at the end of the year. Make sure you call now. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844 PPID-LAW. Everyone that's tuning into this station, start calling now. If you call before the top of the hour, you're guaranteed that free phone consultation. Just schedule it with one of the attorneys. We've got Nelson Madrid, aka the Maverick. You just heard from the maestro, Conrad Pollack. We've got Andrea Scheer. Let's go back to her if she has any more updates before we kick it over to the personal injury side. We'll have Adam, of course, talk about one of his true success stories. Andrea?
So I was also going to let everybody know that as of December 1st, there's a new citizenship test. So all the applications that are filed on or after December 1st will have to undergo this new test. The new test is way harder, it's longer, and it has a lot of conservative ideology that wasn't there before. The previous test was 6 out of 10 questions that you needed to get right. Now you have to answer at least 12 out of 20 correct answers. It also took away all the one-worded answers that they had before, or the easy questions. Now it has a little bit more complicated questions, and it also took away the geography questions, a lot of those. For example, one of the new questions is, or one of the edited questions is, who does a U.S. Senator represent? If any of the lawyers can answer that, please.
People.
No, the right answer is not the people of the state. The right answer is the citizens of the state. So that's kind of a...
That's where I learned that.
Well, the right answer used to be the people of the state, and now it's the citizens. They're purposely trying to make a distinction between people and citizens. Basically, if you're not a citizen, the senator doesn't represent you. I don't know if that's what they're trying to say, but that's one of the changes.
That's their point. This is, they're not fans of the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment, which provides equal protection of the laws to all persons, not to all citizens. The law says all persons, and they don't like that. One of the principal goals of this administration, although they never got around to it, they were too busy doing other nasty things. One of their goals was to end birthright citizenship. What's that? Birthright citizenship is anyone who's born in the United States is a U.S. citizen. What they've tried to do over the years, what they're going to try to do again at some point, is to say, well, if your parents are here illegally, then the child, even if he's born in the United States, shouldn't be a U.S. citizen. That's what birthright citizenship is. And birthright citizenship, where does that stem from? It stems from the 14th Amendment. When it was created after the Civil War, it had to do with slaves, because slaves weren't considered citizens. After the Civil War and the 14th Amendment was passed, equal protection of the laws was applied to all persons, deliberately for that reason, to apply to everybody, not just citizens. Again, Trump and his cronies don't like that. So,
yeah,
unbelievable. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the show is called Cruising with the Case Handler, and we're talking personal injury. We are talking immigration. Thank you so much, Andrea. Nelson, you want to jump in before I kick it over to Adam Handler on the personal injury side?
Sure. So let's just go back to DACA for a second. DACA is actually Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. That's what DACA stands for. And the eligibility requirements are that you were under the age of 31 as of June 15th, 2012. You entered the US prior to the age of 16. You were at least 15 years old at the time of the request, you resided continuously in the US since June 15th, 2007, you have not committed a felony or significant misdemeanor. A significant misdemeanor, a DWI, would knock you out of DACA. Okay, a DWI conviction would disqualify you from DACA. So that's something to keep in mind. And the last requirement is
WAI.
There may be issues.
What's
You know,
that?
quite honestly.
What?
Driver with ability impaired, DWAI.
Right. That's actually less than a DWI. That's a good question. I think it's discretionary. Again, but typically a DWI will knock you out. And we've had a couple of clients, you know, whose DACA application was denied because they were convicted of a DWI.
You know, Squeeze, if I could just jump in for a sec. If that's your only offense, yeah, my guess is, especially under the incoming Biden administration, my guess is that you'd be okay. The idea behind DACA was not to restrict eligibility. The idea behind DACA, it was meant to be an ameliorative provision in the law to help people, not to screw people. All right, when Obama came up with it, this was a way for him, because Congress just would not give him what he wanted on immigration reform. They tried to get a comprehensive bill through, they couldn't do it. So this was Obama's way around it by issuing an executive order to help these kids. All right. And, you know, the idea again was to help these kids, to give them every chance to qualify. Obviously, if they committed a felony, they don't qualify.
Yeah.
If it was a borderline type of thing like what you're talking about, my guess is that Obama certainly, in fact, we've had cases like that. Obama the administration would have allowed it, and my guess is going forward, the Biden administration will allow it as well. The Trump administration might have allowed it in the end, but I'm sure they would have given a seriously hard time before that application got approved. We've done a ton of DACA applications over the years. Back in 2012, when the law came up, when the executive order was issued, we had a lot. It's not the kind of thing you see on a daily basis now, other than extensions, which is nice that, you know, the court just came down and said that new people can apply, new applicants can apply. So people that had hesitated, they might have been eligible, but they hesitated to do it for various reasons. They were afraid they were going to get, if they got denied, they put in removal proceedings, which is a legitimate fear. Those people can now come out and they can put their applications in. But again, the idea was it was meant to help people, to help them to qualify. So a borderline case, if there are borderline cases out there right now, like the one you just mentioned, I think they're in good shape going forward.
And I would say they should definitely use an attorney such as
well, that kind of case, you're not going to do that yourself. That's a mistake.
Got you.
Do that yourself, you're asking for trouble.
Yes.
Even under the Biden administration. Go ahead, Nelson. I'm sorry.
The last requirement is that you're currently enrolled in high school, have graduated high school, earned a GED, or have been honorably discharged from the U.S. Armed Forces. So there's 6 requirements. If you can satisfy the 6 requirements, you are eligible. You know, as Conrad said, there were a lot of people that were reluctant to apply. You know, also keep in mind, it's not just saying, well, I have these requirements. You're going to need evidence to demonstrate that you satisfy these requirements, right? So you're going to need evidence to show that you entered the U.S. prior to the age of 16. What evidence would you have? School records, right? If you were enrolled in, you know, junior high school, if you have report cards, you know, medical records, you know, so it's not just saying that you're eligible or saying that you meet these qualifications, it's providing proof.
Actually, Nelson, do you remember we had a case?
I did, and
this is an interesting situation, because again, key is the guy, you have to enter before you turn 16. We had a case where this kid came in on his 16th birthday, right? He turned 16 at midnight on the date of his birthday. He arrived, the plane arrived, I don't know, 11 o'clock that night, right? An hour before he was to turn 16. But we needed a ticket to prove that, the airline ticket. And we were able to track down, if you remember, we were able to track down from the airline what time the flight arrived. right? Because immigration was saying, no, you arrived on your 16th birthday and you can't prove you came in before, therefore you didn't qualify. So they denied his initial application and he came to us following the denial. We were able to track down the fact that the plane arrived an hour before he turned 16. And in the end, he ended up getting DACA. But that's how, yeah, I mean, I'm giving an extreme example, but that's how complicated even something that seems as simple as DACA can be.
Gotcha. All right. Do not say it, Adam. Do not say it back at Conrad. Don't say it. Go hear about it. All right. You know, yeah, Adam, we know you didn't get much. 93.
I can't get a word in when Conrad's on this show. It's amazing. Unbelievable. 30 minutes, no PI. But you know what? We can at least mention to everybody today's Testimonial Tuesday. We'll get to it another day because I got to jump off at 10 a.m. But ladies and gentlemen, the most important message that you can get from this show today is that we are a full service law firm. We are attorneys that do things very, very, very differently than the other attorneys broadcasting either at the top of the hour or later on in the day. And if that's something that you want to be part of, if you believe in me and you believe in Squeeze and you believe in the Maestro and the Maverick and Shira and the General and the scientists and the boss lady, and if you have any idea what the hell I'm talking about right now, that means you actually watch the show. So thank you so much for that. You'll give us a call. You know, we're happy to help. We want to help. We do things, like I said, very, very differently. I'm a third generation attorney. Conrad's a second generation attorney. And the firm's been around for 60 years. We are Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Our phone number is 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529. Immigration, personal injury, real estate, criminal law, family law, whatever it is. You got a legal problem, we got a legal solution. You got a legal question, guess what? We got the legal answer.
Real estate and wills.
Yeah, I thought I said that. Yeah, we got the closer. We haven't had Fred on in a while. Maybe we have to bring the closer out of the bullpen.
Hold on. Huge announcement that you all don't know about, or you know about it, but you really don't know about it in length yet. A few seconds before the top of the hour. Right after Biden does his January 20th thing and he's president, we're doing the Link Up Media PPID Town Forum. All right. Where, you know, we bring all the different departments on, of course, this Town Forum on Zoom. You will get an invite through Eventbrite. And we'll do this all through Zoom. You get your login, you can come on. It's going to be major. So we're going to be talking more about that later. Town Forum is coming. It's coming. All right.
Also, listen, Adam, you know, I feel so bad. Guys, I pulled an Adam Handler and I sucked up all the oxygen in the room this half hour.
Hey, it's good to be the king, baby.
I feel bad. So Adam, you know what? Tomorrow, Wednesday, it's all yours. We will give you the show tomorrow and you can talk to your heart's content and there'll be nobody to interrupt you.
And right? That's why, and that's
everybody out there, get your tape recorders out, record the show tomorrow because it'll be 100% case handler. He'll be there spewing forth
he's actually
knowledge the entire morning.
And listen, you know what they say, that the secret to a good marriage is compromise, and it's also the secret to good partnership, and that's why we do so very, very well here. Because not only do we care about our clients, we care about each other, and that's those are facts, as you say, Squeeze. So I'm gonna jump off. Good luck to you. I got a call. Got to do my thing. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.
Absolutely. That's Adam Handler. He runs the personal injury department at PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Do remember the phone number to call is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Want to reiterate that the immigration consultations, the free ones, are coming to the end, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the year. So it's important that you actually call the firm and schedule your free phone consultation with an attorney. We've got some questions here, so hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll. Anything else you guys want to add as far as immigration news update is concerned?
Non-detained cases at 26 Federal Plaza and 299 Broadway have been postponed through the end of the year.
What does that mean?
So,
what do you mean?
So what that means is that basically if you were scheduled or if you are scheduled to appear at immigration court from now until December 31st, your hearing will be postponed and adjourned and you will be rescheduled for a new hearing. And that is for the non-detained docket in New York City.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Once again, show is called Cruising with a Case Handler. We're on immigration now. First question up, batter up. Can someone please explain to me priority date or how that it's established? Do you apply for a priority date or is that something given to you later on? I haven't seen anything about a priority date for my case.
Your priority date is your filing date. So when you submit your I-130 to the Immigration Service, whatever kind of case it is, you're a U.S. citizen applying for your adult son, which would, he's not married, I will put him into the first preference category. You file your I-130, the date of submission, when you get the receipt, that date of submission is your priority date. That priority date will determine at some point in 5 or 10 years when your case is ready to proceed to completion.
Absolutely. All right. Once again, folks, remember, call the firm, hire the firm. All right. The number is 844-774-3529. Soon you won't hear me using the word free. So call them 844-774-3529. Hey, guys, I'm just filing the I-130 online for my mother, and she is divorced. So my question is for the required documents. They only asked me for the petitioner, proof of U.S. citizen, I believe they're saying, and the petitioner's birth certificate that is showing the name of both parents. Is that normal? No more documents required? Nelson?
Yeah, so when we typically, we don't file any applications or petitions online. And you want to be careful also because some of these are actual services. It may not be USCIS. It looks like it's a USCIS website, but it may not be. And I don't know if he's filing with USCIS. But typically it would be proof that you are a citizen, your mother's passport, the biographical page of the passport is always good. There's actually more documents. There's 2 passport style photos, obviously your mother's birth certificate and a copy of your birth certificate, right? Because you want to show the connection. You want to demonstrate that your mother is the person listed on your birth certificate. Obviously filing 2 passport style photos online is close to impossible. So again, we typically don't do it online. We prepare or we print out the application and we file the actual hard copy of the application.
Also, the type of documents you need to submit depends on the type of case it is. If you're married and if you just got married and your wife's been married 5 times before, you need to submit all those divorces. If you're a U.S. citizen applying for your mom and your mom has had 4 different husbands, you have to submit all those divorces to show that all the different changes in name. Siblings, same thing. If you're applying for your sister or your stepsister, you have the same father, you have to submit the documentation to demonstrate. Typically, you want to show all the changes in name. I'm simplifying. It depends on the circumstances, but the question this person asked, it's a typical question of somebody who choose to do the case themselves, which ends up sounds like what's going to happen there when they submit the petition. Eventually, they're going to get a response from immigration asking for more documentation, which will slow it down and so on. But some people make a decision; they'd rather spend less money and let the case take longer, or risk it being denied. But
yeah, and that's where I come in to remind people, please. I say it all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, have the firm do it. Have PPI do it. All right. Let them handle it. Let them take the complexity and the headache away from you. All right. The number to call once again is 844-774-3529 for the law firm Pollack, Isaac and DeSico, a full service law firm. Here's one for you, Andrea. I was a sponsor for my dad, and I'm also a sponsor for my brother. My dad is now a green card holder. If my dad applies for Medicaid, will this have some negative impact on my brother's petition? I know my brother's petition will take long. I started his petition in 2018. Any feedback is very welcome.
It doesn't, his dad's green card doesn't have anything to do with his brother's, so it won't affect his brother's case at all.
All right. And there you go, guys. That's it. That's it. That's it for the immigration questions. I'm very happy that you guys spoke on Daca, and I'm very happy what has happened with Daca. And I think we should touch base on that the next time we speak again a little bit more. Are we doing an evening show, gentlemen and lady, this week? Just asking. Thursday again, 6? Anybody?
I thought that's what we had planned. Yeah, we're gonna have the general on Thursday on the morning, and I believe we're gonna do Thursday night and at
Good.
6. And as I said earlier, the case handler, he has the show all to himself tomorrow, Wednesday.
Oh, you guys, by the way, you threw me off. I was actually I'm working on a motion right now, and I just heard radio silence, and then all of a sudden it was like Nelson. I was oh, just for those people following us on Facebook, while we do the show, we are also doing work. So while it may look like we're not paying attention, we are listening. As I tell my children, I listen with my ears. I do have headphones on, but I am trying to be productive at work as well. And I'm trying to do work and finish work.
All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in to Cruising with a Case Handler, brought to you by the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, located in New York City at 225 Broadway on the 3rd floor with offices in Peekskill and Brooklyn. I do believe the Peekskill office is open now. The Brooklyn office is not open yet. And obviously the New York City's office is open. Am I correct there, gentlemen and lady?
Correct.
Yes.
All right, no problem. You can call, schedule your appointment to see them in person, or of course over Zoom, I believe. 844-774-3529. That's 844 PPID law. Priors us to that guarantees similar outcome. However, ladies and gentlemen, make it PPID, because I'm down with PPID. Yeah.
If I could just jump in terms of client appointments, we're trying to encourage people to, when they want to speak to us, when they want to meet with us, to do it by Zoom. With all the stuff going on in the city right now, we're trying to limit and minimize the actual amount of client direct other person contact for everybody's safety of our staff, safety of our attorneys, and the safety of our clients. We're trying. We encourage Zoom or Skype or telephones or what have you. We can do interviews constantly, and we do all the time that way. We even have had situations where if the client wants to come to the office, where they just want to know that we're actually here, that it's a physical presence. We've had clients come here and sit in our conference room, one of our several conference rooms, and do the Zoom from there. That way they can provide us with documents in person and so on. So there are all kinds of ways of doing things, but also, again, rather than people getting on the subway to come here, and taking the risk, we try to encourage people right now to do it electronically, if at all, or by telephone, if at all possible.
Right. And we should talk more about that next time we're back on the radio doing immigration. I think people would love to hear that, and the fact that you're doing that.
Look, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and the client, one of the things we all like about immigration, about practicing immigration law, is the direct client contact, seeing the faces and meeting the people and talking to them in person. I mean, that's been one of the drawbacks of what everyone's been going through this year. Hopefully that's going to change soon. The vaccines are coming out, and hopefully, within the next 6 months or so, things can go back to normal. But in the interim, especially now with the spike in cases, everything that's going on, we encourage people to use the electronic mediums that are available, and we're there, just like now. Just like Squeeze, I haven't seen you, in person in ages. It's been years.
That's true.
But even here, Andrea's sitting in her office, Nelson's in his, and I'm in mine. We're all in the same place on the 3rd floor, 225 Broadway. But we try to minimize contact as much as possible, even amongst ourselves. So.
Got you. That's Conrad Pollack, managing partner at the firm. Nelson Madrid, also a partner at the firm. Thank you so much, Andrea, an attorney at the firm. Thank you so much. It's been a great show. I guess it's going to be Thursday because Adam gets tomorrow. All right. So Thursday, 9:30 a.m. We'll see you all. Thank you all so much for being here.